O show da bola vai começar! A partir de agora, você fica com a melhor transmissão esportiva do rádio. Vamos levar até você, ouvinte, todas as emoções desta partida. Aumente o volume e vamos vibrar, pois nossa equipe está no ar.
Cisse, the Senegal coach, watching on. Focus on the face of his players. Now, Kenya's national anthem. Very serious, if not nervous looks on the two teams, as we will surely see the lineups for these games. Both coaches have rung the changes after those opening day defeats as the tournament kicked off on Sunday. 4 apiece from both Cisse, the Senegal coach, and Beldi Nodemba, who's in charge of Kenya. We see the Senegal lineup first, coming back into the side. Adji Njai in goal at the expense of Hadi Fai. And in midfield, coming into the side, Sek, Nogai, Seinabu as well. And dropping out, Mama Diop, who was free scoring at the last WAFCON. Korkafal, who captained the side last time out. And Atimatu Drame also goes to the benches. You'll see 3 Senegalese players on yellow cards, and they will have to be careful over the next 90 minutes. Confirmation of the referee from Nigeria, Yamisi Akintoye, supported by assistants from Benin and Chad. At the VAR room, Leticia Viana of Swaziland, with Zambia's Mbizai Musawa alongside. As for the Kenyan changes, well, they keep faith with their goalkeeper, very much number 1, but changes elsewhere. Coming into the side today, Shilwatso, Lorna, Mercy Iro, and Violet Nanjala. And those dropping out, Nasaka, Martha, Egle, and Valerie. Just the one player on the yellow, that is Iro, a 26-year-old midfielder. The 2 skippers, Bayang So for Senegal, takes over those responsibilities from Korkafal. And for the Kenyans, Wanalima Jereko has the honour. Well, Senegal started the last WAFCON very, very quickly, found goal scoring something of a breeze as Mama Diop and Ngana Njai bang them in, especially on that opening day defeat of the Democratic Republic of Congo by 4-0. But this time around, it is a very different affair. They are looking for their first goal of the entire 2026 WAFCON campaign, having yet to score in the competition, going through and qualifying against Cote d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast on penalties after both legs of their second round qualifying class ended goalless. Kenya, they made it through after edging out Tunisia, and then the Gambia qualifying. The countdown has begun.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And this vital Group A clash is underway as Kenya, playing from left to right in red, kick us off. Senegal from right to left in their white shirts, white shorts and white socks. And both these sides may well be thinking that this is the game on paper, and they may well get away with that. Going to Njai with a really early strike as the ball just fell to her nicely. Didn't get any power on it of note as Lilian Aouar goes long, and that's a clash of heads. Or Senebu Benge caught in the head, I should really say. Apology as well, instantly offered, and a quiet word from the referee as well. With the Kenyan, just a high foot and nothing more to it than that. Adama Sane hit this forward, as you can see, 5 players strung across the front for the Lionesses of Teranga. Up it goes, not fully cleared in the area, bit of hesitation, and eventually it is cleared away by Jureko. Now it's Molimata Njai at the other end who needs to do some defensive work. So, nicely played down this left-hand side. Casse into the middle. It's nice football here from Senegal, and they're not going to get the corner because that was well marshalled out of play by Facila Omondi for Kenya. But Moussa Cissé, the Senegal coach, leading his side at a third WAFCON. Before he took charge in 2019, the country had been just to 1 back in 2012. He's revitalised their fortunes. Into the middle it goes. Well, that's not fully cleared at all. And they got lucky, Senegal. It could have gone anywhere. It wasn't really read by Teresa Terry Ngesha. Kenya still in possession. Here is Terry. Tries to strike on the turn. That's better from Kenya, holding on to it. Violet Nanjala doing well. And then they do lose possession. Sokna Nogai. Our Casse just playing it inside. As we see Daldine Odemba, the former international. A few local coaches leading the national team of theirs at this tournament. Spartanas, they try and come forward, cleared away by Wally Mata. Remind, if you joined us late, that both these sides are in desperate need of both points and goals, and there's a strike from distance which forces the save. Comfortable it may well have been for Aji Njai. She won't mind that. The 19-year-old come back into the side today at the expense of Hadi Fai, just 22 years of age. Actually, even younger. Turns 20 next month. Clearly, Musa Cisse displeased with Hadifai's performance against Morocco. Excuse me, against Algeria. So as said, the side's in need of goals and points. Goals because neither of them has yet to score so far. Yeah, barely trouble the Moroccan back line. Striker goal and just takes a deflection that takes the sting out of it. Another touch for Aji Njai. Good play in the midfield from Nogai. Molimata. Jireko. Frazier Shawatso. To play her way out of trouble. A Euro. Jireko. Moving nicely through the middle, Quênia. Molimata. Getting in a touch at the right time just to break up that move from Quênia going down the central area of the pitch, and some nice approach work. Decent possession. You're hoping for more of that, and there's a lot of space here down the left-hand side. Player inside in the middle if it can come across early. It doesn't. Still Quênia. Here's Terry. Swings and misses. Still not fully away. She'll get another chance. Terry tees it up, and the strike comes in. Not really met, and that was, but that just sails over from the Quênia captain. But promising signs for the East Africans, because they are getting themselves into goal-scoring positions, even if they are not necessarily taking the chances. You've got to be in those positions to obviously profit. And Jireko almost did that. And still they come forward. And there was another opportunity for Terry to be played in. A lot of space. Arguably, should have done a little bit better there, Quênia. They exited in the group stage in 2016 on their maiden appearance. R&B Starlets have never avoided defeat any game they've played at WAFCON. Can they change that today? So never kept a clean sheet in any game. Women's African Cup of Nations. So it's pretty clear their objectives as we see Jireko's strike again. Oh, brutal look there, but she did score the goal that clinched qualification for Quênia for these finals. It was against the Gambia in the second leg. 3-1 at home, and then they played away ironically in neutral Senegal when they took on the Gambia. Their goal made it 4-1 on aggregate and really took the game away from the Gambians. Sweet moment for Jericho, who helped the team qualify for the 2016 finals. She was just 17 or 18, and she had to miss those finals because she was doing her exams when they came around. Adji, straight into touch. Quênia made the most of that early domination that they've got in the game. It's pretty much in the Senegalese half, and they come forward again. And Babu with the header away, the left back. Good tackle from Euro. So Babu gets it back. Acesse. It's the corner, but stays down on the ground, the 22-year-old. During official, just making sure she's okay. It's a football in Senegal with Aigle de la Medina. As many of the squad do. So, Satu Fall, club teammates on the field, present for Senegal. The Nogai. A couple of teenagers in this side with the delivery. Goes long, met, and that will be a goal kick to Quênia. Well, the delivery was good enough in that it found a teammate. And it just lucky power and precision. Senegal giving it away cheaply again at the back. Euro. Jericho striking a goal again. Quênia have the throw. She plays her football in Denmark, does the skipper for Quênia. She's got a bit of pace, got a bit of creativity. She's a real stalwart of the side, having been in R&B Starlets for well over a decade. The debut of Jericho back in 2015. And she comes out, goes down. And he wins the free kick, and interesting to see just how much contact there was from Terry on the Senegalese goalkeeper. Holding her right thigh. The little nudge it was from Wally Mata, who effectively caused Adji Unjai to fall awkwardly on the floor, and I think that's really obviously what caused the discomfort for one of the rising young goalkeepers in the African women's game. She was shortlisted for the CAF Awards last year, Adji, and not just for the Confederation of African Football's Women's Goalkeeper of the Year, but also for the Women's Young Player of the Year, which tells you a great deal about the performances she was putting in. off the back of a maiden appearance in the WAFCON for Aji, when she was part of a very youthful defence, very inexperienced. Not only did they manage to do what they had to do defensively, she, the goalkeeper, even teed up Ngana for one of the Senegal team's goals in the group stage. So with the instructions, the legitimate ambition we have today is to try to reach the final of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations and go to the World Cup. Cisse said in the run-up to this tournament, we are here to take this next step for Senegalese women's football. Well, a reminder that this competition is not just about African glory, but also about Women's World Cup qualification as well for the finals next year in Brazil. All 4 semi-finalists will make it through. They'll be joined by 2 more of the losing quarter-finalists, and they meet in playoffs in the final few days of this competition. Sunday, the 16th of August, the date that we all know who will be champions of Africa. It'll be at the end of a really exciting week when we know as well which 6 teams of the 16 here are going to be going to Brazil, hopefully continuing to build the momentum of women's football. Other Women's World Cup fine performances by Morocco last time around, getting to the knockout stage on their debut. Just seen at the Men's World Cup how the expansion there helped the African teams progress. 9 out of the 10 teams making it into the knockout phase. Something remarkable if the women could emulate those statistics next year. They've not always got the greatest number of teams into the knockout stages, the continent's best sides. Nabu short on this occasion into Walimata. Bit of space on that right-hand side if she can get in quickly, but Al-Raw did very well. Read it well, the 27-year-old. As you can see from the possession stance, fairly even. Quênia shading it. A little surprised given how much of the ball they had in the first 10 minutes or so. Well, that's well played to win it back by Quênia. Can they break? Violet Nanjala. Well, she just dawdled a little with the pass. Got caught as well, but she's won the free kick. R&B Starlets will be happy with that. And she showed good ambition there. The 26-year-old just driving forward. Just the clip coming in from Babu. Opportunity to get players forward. As you can see, 5 Kenyans just on the edge of the penalty area. Okay. With the delivery. Can she find colleague? Find what would be a rare Kenyan goal in the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. Doesn't be the first player. Fasila tries to play it in. Babu was involved in the only 20 minutes or so with the block. Shilwatso looking for Terry. She'll have another go. Not much more successful as, you know, it just goes long. Shiwatsu, looking for Nanjala. She's got the ball over. No, she had to be alert. Looking for a teammate in the middle of the park rather than going for goal, I think. Fasila can ride the challenge. Senegal with a little bit of space in the midfield. Casse on the left. And it gets through to Casse. Well, for the moment she thought it was going to go for the defender. And that movement towards meant that she couldn't prevent it from going out of play. Shiwatsu up the line again. Nanjala with the flick on. Mata just dinks it forward. Protests from the Kenyan bench about a possible handball. Jareko looking forward. Aji comes out and now she catches one of her own teammates rather than the other way round. I think we're going to be in for another hold-up as well. That's Adama Sane, who's been caught. "21 years of age, based here in Morocco with Wydad Casablanca. A very famous name on the continent, of course, given the exploits and achievements of the men's side. Former African champions. That was the touch from Lorna. Took it away from our opposite number. There's Aji again. Involved in a minor impact, and hence the treatment for Sane. They've not had too much so far to get them out of their seats. It's largely been traffic going in the other direction that they would have wanted. Back up on her feet. Sane. See the best of Quênia and Jai as well. It's just by the referee. Backwards. Senegal's top scorer in WAFCON history, 5 goals in 2 editions. Yet to join the party here as Sane has trudged her way round to the halfway line and will be awaiting the moment when she can re-enter the fray. Drop ball. Going decidedly Kenya's way. Jareko forward. Too much on that. Wally Mata. Aisatu. Slide rule pass forward. Well dealt with at the back. But given away. Casse has managed to keep it in this time, but a little push takes her over. And it's Senegal, the free kick. Entirely sure Shiwatsu hugely impressed with that decision by the Nigerian official. Nice touch there from Casse. She was trying to change momentum, just knocked over by Shiwatsu. Senegal swinging this in. Important Kenyan head to get it away. Fazila. Very full of running. Sane. Back on the field. Nabu. Casse. Ngana. Casse into the middle. And then the player down in the area. Muted appeals for a penalty from the Senegalese bench. Didn't really believe. And then there's an off flag as well, and Quênia will have time to clear. Clearly coming back from an offside position. So, Nogai, and still Nogai. Going one way and then the other, looking for options. So bundled over by Terry, but play on, says the referee. Nicely flicked around the corner. Sek. So can only find Terry. We'll come back to Terry again. Neither side able to hold on to it. Casse wins it back and then instantly gives it away. With a bit more space. Can she do better? Well, it's a lovely idea, but I think the offside flag would have definitely gone up over on that far side. Ngana. Back into the middle in the hope of receiving it. Cross comes in. Away by Ngosi. And Senegal have the corner. A little apology, the goalkeeper based in Romania. Very much first choice for Quênia. It comes again. Good handling from Aouar. League champion in Romania has allowed her to taste the UEFA Women's Champions League in Europe. She brings real experience in that Kenyan goal as well, having also been part of the squad 10 years ago when the Harambee Starlets made their debut. Wally Mata into Casse. His first touch from her, but pass towards Ngana. And we find a player in red. Player down, and a free kick goes Senegal's way. Elizabeth Ochaka, judged to have impeded Nogai. So 6 Senegalese players in the penalty area waiting for this delivery. And the keeper came and missed it, and it's still not fully clear, but it is now. Well, Sek is adamant that there was something going on in the area that the referee should have seen, and she's still going. Suggesting there was possible handball in there. That's the assertion of Sek.
Now the eyes turn to the Nigerian referee as well. VAR, as we know, in use at this tournament. You'll see nothing wrong and play can recommence. Jureko playing a teammate into trouble. Ayuro. Can be done by Ngozi. And then springing the offside trap as well. Terry's in the middle if they can play it early. In it comes. Lacks the power. A little deflection. Well, takes it into the grateful arms of Adjianjai. Fazila for the first time. With a lot of space on that left-hand side, the Kenyan. And the delivery just never going to be finding its way to Terry. I don't think she was offside, I must be honest. Terry probably was in the middle, but not Fazila. 20 years of age, plays her football in Tanzania with Simba Queens. As does Ngozi at the other end of the pitch for Kenya. Senegal, in their 10 previous WAFCON group games, have always seen goals scored. There has always been a winner. Only once have both teams scored. They really do need to find scoring boots as Wally Mata goes off another base in Morocco with Widad. Treatment to her left arm for the 22-year-old. She is still off the pitch and behind the goal as she gets us back underway. Too long for Quênia. That's asking a lot down the right-hand side for Senabu. She's done really well as well to deliver a cross in there. A little bit of panic at the back for Quênia. Too much on that, and then Acesse impeding her opponent, and Quênia can clear their lines. She's putting herself a little bit about on the left-hand flank, and Awa Acesse. He's catching Shiowatso. Quênia just thought for a moment that they might be in for a slightly delayed decision from the Nigerian official for a foul in the middle of the park. Sek, the player. Clipped. Yes, Satu spreads it out to the right-hand side. That's a heavy touch and lost out by So. And then Quênia, well, they've got players over. They've done this a little bit quickly, and they might have made more of it. Terry on the turn, just couldn't ever get it under. This time, Senegal surely will. clear their lines. Aji taking a little bit of time. Get up. Nogai looking for Casse. Lovely ball over the top. Here is Casse. Unselfishly plays it square. Can Senegal open the scoring? Oh, yes, they can. And how? Brilliantly worked. So unselfish as well. Seinabu Umdenge has Senegal's first goal of its entire 2026 WAFCON campaign. And she can thank Runde Awa Casse for the pass. And finally, the Lionesses of Teranga have liftoff. Well, she looks on there. This was the crucial touch. And then look at that. So just play it in. And she did not hesitate, Seinabu, the 34-year-old. Casse knew exactly what she wanted to do. Look at her eyes. And got the pass absolutely right as well. And then from here on in, Seinabu had little doubt about what she was going to be doing. And the player based in France with the Mets has given her side a decisive, possibly very, very important lead. A check as ever in these modern times. I suspect they just need to look at the possible offside. I think there was one, but let's wait and see. You never know. These days, what VAR crews will find. I'm sure there was anything wrong there if they're looking at that. Absolutely nothing wrong with the finish whatsoever. Well, here we go. Little touch in there from Casse. Well, it's not a foul in my book. But we'll see what the refereeing crew make of it. Tucked away. Senegal really, really need to win this game. The goal is indeed given after a little bit of delay. And applause rings out inside the stands.
Goal for Senegal team, scoring by number 6, Seinabu Umdenge.
The opening clash against Algeria was one that was very hard to predict. Algeria, as we saw the last tournament, was a team whose passage into the knockout phase was built on defence. They didn't concede at all in last year's WAFCON, beaten only on penalties. Senegal, as I said, they found scoring fairly easy last time around, but they just couldn't find a way past Algeria. It was a big game to lose, and with only the top 2 teams in each group going through, this being a 16-team tournament, no need for any of the best third-place sides to go through. And also given the way that the results are determined in the group in terms of head-to-head results, this is an absolute must-win encounter for both these sides if they are to have any hope of reaching the knockout phase. Sané just bringing down Sila Omondi. Lovely aerial view of the Olympic Stadium. Confirmation that Casse is not offside. For a moment, I thought she had angled the pass wrong, but there wasn't too much pace on it, which meant that it just held up very, very nicely for Seinabu. There is going to be a substitution in. Violet Njala is going to be unable to continue. This is, I think, a tactical change rather than an enforced one, because the injury's over on the far side of the pitch. Valerie Nekesa, who was dropped for this game, the 19-year-old, is on.
Substitution for Kenya team, player number 19, represented by number 50.
Valerie Nekesa comes with a little bit of pedigree and history for her nation. She had the honour of scoring the first goal ever for Kenya at a World Cup, whether male or female, senior or junior. As the under-17 side from Kenya travelled to the under-17 Women's World Cup 2 years ago. And they lost their opening 2 games against England and the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. And then they beat Mexico in their 3rd and final game. And Nekesa was the player who gave them the lead in that game, a real feather in the cap of Kenyan football, and something that they are very much looking to build on. The Starlets, as Chireko tried to lift that over Wally Mata, unable to do so. We're really seen as a platform to build on the performance by the under-17 side. And there were several members of that historic under-17 squad in this squad today. Coach Udemba, you can see with her arms outstretched just by the side of the running track. So these young players bring unique experience to our football. They have already played in the World Cup. They know the demands of the highest level. And in a country which hasn't achieved any World Cup participation elsewhere in football, even though they are so young, they do stand alone. So plays it forward. Chireko trying to get in behind Wally Mata. Well, she manages to do so. Shrugging off the challenge and trying a striker goal. Well, ambitious from Chireko. Wasn't the worst striker in the world. She got just half a yard or space as she got away from Wally Mata. And from here on in, she was just trying to head over Jai. Didn't get the angles right, but you can certainly see what she was trying to do. Nice flick from Ungana. Acesse. He's already made one. Down she goes. Just be a throw-in to the Senegalese. Babu Nogai wins a corner. Another one for Senegal. Oh, they're just conceding it to the Kenya Police Bullets midfielder. Players from Bullets who've won that Premier League title in Kenya on show today. Now Senegal, who had to weather some early pressure from Kenya. And another goal that would give them a somewhat flattering but possibly decisive lead at the half-time break. Aouar comes out, gets a touch to tip it away. Wally Mata back into the middle from her space, and Nogai straight at the Kenya goalkeeper. Oh, that was one of Senegal's best chances in this half, and just angled far too close to the Kenya goalkeeper. Here's Terry trying to bring parity at the end of the half for Quênia. Jai and Jai has done really well to come out smartly, and I'm sure that didn't travel too far from Terry. So the dying moments of the first half, Quênia needing a goal realistically. Minutes. Ungana, she didn't get the first touch right. And that allowed the Kenyan defender to come back and clear away. Chaka doing well. There's going to be 7 minutes of additional time at the end of this opening period. Our so the skipper trying to latch onto any loose chippings as we see the smart goalkeeping by Aji. Nogai goes down and the whistle belatedly goes in Senegal's favour. Nogai just pulling a little on Shilwatsu, which eventually paused or prompted her to pull back a bit. That's loose at the back from Quênia, into the middle into Kassé. Can she make it two? Against the post from Senegal. Kenya's goal living dangerously after some really loose play at the back. Allowed the Lionesses of Teranga in. 2 chances in the dying moments of this half for Senegal. And that could have put the game beyond. Quênia, here it is. Kassé, look at that superb save. It was by Aouar. Came through the legs as well of Shilwatsu, but that is a top draw bit of goalkeeping from Aouar, and then she got a little bit of luck as well as the ball rebounded into her arms off the post. Just how important will that goal, that save be in the final reckoning? Well, here is the goal. It separates the sides. Well tucked away, as treatment is still received over on the far side of the pitch, as Airo is going to have to depart it. Shilwatsu will get us underway. Fazila. Solid tackle. Well, she wins the free kick. For me, that was just a fairly full-blooded challenge, but the player is down. And the Nigerian referee unhappy with the strength of the contact on Fazila. He's taken a few blows in this first 45 minutes. Wally Mata judged to have impeded the Kenyan left winger. You can see it's grey, cloudy in the Moroccan capital today. Not too many here either. I imagine most of the Moroccan supporters following this competition will be making their way to the Moulay Al Hassan Stadium, which is where the Alice Lionesses kicked off their campaign on Sunday night with that 4-0 defeat of Quênia. This Olympic Stadium having hosted the final last year, of course, when Morocco so close to victory until Nigeria, with Esther Okoronkwo to the fore, launched a mightily impressive comeback out of seemingly nowhere. Here is Kasse's chance again, and our wars. Goes very long. Terry nicely touched back into the midfield and strike a goal, and almost over the head of Adji. And she did really well to keep her eye on that and both hands on it as well. Fazila again involved. Just needed a little bit more power if that was going to drift over the outstretched arms of Adji and under the crossbar, and that is the last serious action of what has been an interesting first half. Quênia having started it really well, putting some pressure on the Senegalese, but then just after the half-hour mark, Senabu Mbenge converting Nde Awa Kasse's unselfish pass, and even though Nogai and Kasse went close later on in the half, at half-time in Rabat in Group A, it is Senegal 1, Quênia 0. So the team's coming back onto the field. The referee with the ball in her hand and on the centre circle. Very much letting us know that it is time to resume. As both teams go into a pre-half huddle, just as they did before this game kicked off. A reminder that Morocco meet Algeria tonight. And a winner in that game will take one of those sides through to the quarterfinals at the earliest opportunity. A North African derby. It should be some spectacle and some encounter as Kenya are going to make a change. Marion Serenge, 18 years of age, is coming on. And the player she is replacing, Mercy Mayuro, the only Kenya player on a yellow card. Senegal also making a change, and Mama Diop dropped for this game. The 30-year-old is on. And Acesse, such a influential first half, makes way. So retake for kickoff. Jai. Across for this second period. First touch for Mama Diop, not one that she'll want to see again. As the announcer just confirms her appearance. Shot to prominence at the last tournament, Mama Diop. Goal for Senegal after just 4 minutes against the Congolese. A hugely experienced figure that Moussa Cissé able to bring on 12 years ago for Mama Diop. Sane. Edgy out wide. It's a better touch from Diop. There's a bit of tussling going on at the back, but I was going to say it was handled pretty well by Ngozi. In the end, she carelessly played it into touch and handed possession back to Senegal. Mata. Sek cannot win the header, goes down, claiming a foul by Fazila, who is trying to make her case to the Nigerian official that there was very little wrong with that. Sek holding her nose, the smell, but the fact that she believes that she was caught. And there you go. Just a flailing arm catching the 28-year-old. There have been quite a few stoppages in this game, and I wonder what the second round is going to bring, because we've seen some extraordinary results so far in the competition. So much talking about those in Group A, which more or less went possibly as expected, but Group B, Tanzania stunning South Africa on Monday, and then the shock of this tournament so far, and possibly any WAFCON tournament, Nigeria, the 10-time champions, beaten by debutants, Malawi, on a Tuesday in Group C. What a result that was. In Group D, they got in on the action last night. Ghana beating Cape Verde, also making their debut at this competition. Cameroon seeing off Mali. This is Kenya, almost like debutants, having spent 10 years away. Well, there are claims for a handball there against the Senegalese. They're not continuing. That could well be worth seeing again. Babu into Job. Will break for Senegal. Ghana able to get in behind the Chaka. Nicely laid off from Terry, but able to be collected. Here is Terry again. Nicely played. Fazila. Well, that wasn't. Ghana into Job. Good first touch from her. Chaka. Jureko. Straight out Wally Mata when there were options headed to the left. Then Senegalese player goes down. We have the free kick and could have been a promising move. Valerie, the judge, to have made the foul.
Come on, ladies, come on, ladies, come on, ladies.
Mato, who's captained Senegal in the past. Second AFCON at the age of just 22. Looking long. Gonna get the better of a Chaka. Satu forward. Terry. It's nicely laid off once again. And then Fasila wayward with the pass, but Kenya are going to have the free kick and another opportunity to go forward here. Free kicks tossing up the point. Shiwatsu. With the delivery, Dinked. Needs a little flick on. Sek. Into Job. Space to run into for Job and plays it out to Ghana. Job will still continue her run into the area towards the penalty spot, and Ghana running out of room. The Senegalese move fizzles out. Satu. Nogai, striker distance from Nogai. Not too far away. He's been one of those that has undoubtedly caught the eye. Just 19 years of age. Nogai is with Association Sportive Bombay, home in Senegal. She's got physicality. She's got height. She must be very difficult to play against. That's a really good ball into the middle. And they've dealt with it well enough. Here is Nogai. Satu. Is not going to be able to keep that in. Kenya will have the goal kick. Well, they had some impressive results before the competition. Kenya playing a little 4-team tournament in Zambia where they drew 1-1 with the free scoring Zambians, who opened this AFCON campaign with a 6-0 demolition of Egypt. And that was a result that certainly suggested that Kenyan women's football moving in the right direction. Had a camp at home in early July before a couple of weeks in France. But they are in, as their coach says, the tournament's group of death. Which means it's a really tall order against just the host, but Senegal and Algeria, who showed their mettle 2 years ago. Going to need to score their first goal of the tournament in 10 years if they're going to get anything out of this. Corner to Kenya. They've not had too many of them. Instead, they've gone Senegal's way. And Adji gathers. Far too close to the Senegalese goalkeeper. Ghana sort of running, but too much on it. Oh, what? Clears Kenya's lines. Player down. Seinabu, the scorer. It's a free kick. He's been in charge of Senegal for 7 years now, Cisse. There was another Cisse, Aliou, who was in charge of Senegal for 7 years before he won the glory. The men's AFCON in 2022. And Imam Moussa Cisse in that feat. It will not be easy. There are some difficult teams that need to be surmounted if that were to happen. Morocco, of course, the hosts, finalists of the last two competitions. Nigeria, serial champions. South Africa, definitely with a point to prove. And Zambia, such an entertaining side to watch. Amongst the 4 teams really expected to go far in this competition and certainly put their places in the World Cup. Very interesting if those 4 do indeed make it through, which other 2 sides join them. Striker goal this is, straight at Aouar. Ghana at least gets a strike away, which he's been unable to do for much of this game. Little push in the back, but she does really well, Fazila. And again, that's a poor touch from Sané. Playing with fire and conceding the corner, and just for a moment it seemed like Jureko's pressing was gonna bring a major reward. Instead, she panicked and turned that behind. Frantic start for a corner. Excellent play from the Kenyan skipper. Trying to force the error. She goes short on this occasion with the corner. Straight in, and that's a really important touch from Adji. Keep it alive. Valerie. That's too hard hit, and Ghana try skip past the Chaka, but she can't because Azila comes back to help out defensively. all over the pitch today, Fazila Omondi. In a good way, not a bad one. Sane unable to control, so unable to bring down Jureko. Here it is, look at this. First touch caused her problems. She was a whisker away. Adji, look how close this is. She realised what was coming. Was she even looking? Very little in that. And she's involved again. Adji. She did used to be a former striker for Senegal's under-20s side, and she's still eligible for them, being still in her teens. I'm not entirely sure her coach would have been too happy with her decision to dawdle at the back. Sek. Fazila. Again, her defensive work. In the first half, she had opportunities down the left flank to deliver it for Terry, which she failed to do in the stages of this second period. Showing what a good team player she is, Fazila Omondi. Number Diop gives it away. Jureko. Important touch. That's nicely played. Terry in behind. Well, did she need to pass it? Could this be offside? We'll see. Marion into Terry. And there are arms up in anger from the Kenyans. Now be in the stadium. Feel that they could have used the ball in the possession there far more wisely to get a shot away. That was the touch, and here, as you can see, clear offside. Terry would have been better advised just to take another touch and get a shot away, because with an hour gone, there has been just the one on target from the Starlets. From Terry late in the first half, which was quickly smothered. This player, Jai, who's taking this kick, you can see it as we see Genal strike. Jureko. Diop. Still Diop. Jureko does really well to win that back. Terry looking for Marion. Really finding Sane. Get up. Sit down for her. Quênia have to throw and take it quickly. Terry. Jureko. Still Jureko. Well, it comes to Marion, and Marion just past the post. Well, that was as good an opportunity as Quênia have had all day. And she swept her foot at it, the substitute. Goal at her mercy. And instantly, rueful, as you can see, clapping her hands in frustration that she failed to hit the target. Well, that was the clearest sight Quênia have had. Comes from a family steeped in football. Marion Serenge. 18 years of age. So many players at this tournament. They won last time around. Getting experience in top-level African women's football while still in their teens. Can surely only benefit the future of the game. Senegal taking their time. half a half territory with that throw. Sunny again. Yeah. Goal kicks. Nothing wrong. Senabu. A double substitution from Senegal, while the referee just tries to restore a little bit of order on the pitches. It's just beginning to fray. Approaching the final quarter of the game. Satu's challenge going down well, and here are the changes for Senegal. So Sek is off. Replaced by Awa Diakate. And Sane also leaving the field. So a defender for a defender as Anta Dembele, the 32-year-old, comes on for Sané. Terry needs support to come her way. They do have the throw. Latest effort by Ghana. Fazila. Actually round the corner by Terry. Marion looking into the middle. Senegal get it away for now. Strike a goal from distance, and Adji against the crossbar. Can Terry turn this in? Oh, against the post again. Will it be third time lucky for Quênia? It's still spinning around. Strike from Marion. And it goes behind for a corner. And Senegal's goal living a charmed life. Look at this. Adji getting the touch and tipping it onto the crossbar. Terry could not profit. And then a series of ricochets that came Marion's way. And another convincing touch by a Senegalese player, taking it behind for the corner. Well, Adji did what she had to do. Terry didn't. Well, Quênia surely never come closer to scoring without actually doing so. Shilwatso's effort from distance, then Terry, then Marion. More shots in a handful of seconds than Quênia have managed in the entirety of the preceding 67 minutes or so. She got the decisive touch. Till Shilwatso's effort. And she got a little bit lucky as we could only find the woodwork. Two fingers, down you go, get up for the second effort. waiting as she continues to receive treatment from the Senegalese medical crew. Feeling slightly ginger. The team that will need her to be alert because Kenya are beginning to increase the pressure. Their flag is waved around in the stadium and support comes their way. Jureko in straight to the goalkeeper who took that really well with both hands. Credited for her composure and maturity. She dealt with that impressively enough. Senegal thought they had stolen forward, but instead the free kick goes Kenya's way. Gosi, if she follows previous free kicks, will just pump this forward to the edge of the penalty area. Marion to keep the ball forward for Kenya. Gosi dispossessed by Ghana. The goal scorer, Senabu. Into the middle it goes. Here is Ghana. Can she get a shot away? She can't. Checks back on her left. She does now. And just over the top, and she beats the ground in frustration. Does Ghana. She's beginning to get an eye for goal. Checked inside nicely. Got under the strike. Aisatu. Nogai with a low strike, and that just whistles past the left-hand post of Lilian Aouo. She knows she needs to see the action at the other end. Instead, it's Senegal who are knocking on the door for a second. The cleanest effort from the 19-year-old. Gosi. Chaka. Senegal throw. Terry, forward. Is this the moment for Kenya? Desperation at the back for Senegal. Anywhere will do time from the skipper, so. Nice little layout from Terry, often unselfish. Kenyan number 9. And there was a desire to find a teammate. The Starlets as they came forward. Kenya finish their campaign against Algeria here in the Olympic Stadium on Monday night. That's the 3rd of August, 2000 GMT. It's the same time as Morocco beat Senegal just across Rabat in the Moulay Al Hassan Stadium. may well be that Kenya are playing for pride and nothing more, unless they can get something out of this game. Even a point would be enough to keep some dreams alive. Nicely turned from Marion, finding Jureko. Terry ghosting towards the edge of the area. Here's Marion again. Over the head of Terry. Job with the header away. Fazila. And Diema. Well, we were trying to hold on to it and dispossessed Shilwatso. And then Shilwatso won it back. Jureko. Senegal just countering the attempted counters from Kenya. That was loose from Dembele. That will suit Kenya as they try and build up a little bit of steam for the final quarter of an hour or so. The guy with a handball, Terry. Jureko in the middle if she can find her. Still Terry. It's Senegal's ball. Bayang So. Latest Senegalese player to need treatment. Just catching the back of her ankles, the 33-year-old, another with Aigle de la Medina, or Medina Eagles, let's say. Very solid at the back as Senegal captain. Here's Corker foul waiting to come on. Veteran forward for Senegal, wearing 20 with that peroxide hair. Played at every single WAFCON that Senegal have ever contested, having been part of the 2012 squad that made Senegal's debut in the competition. She's going to have to wait a little bit. So still receiving treatment. Job with the flick. Oh, unable to control. Here's Marion. Forward to Terry, who is in behind. Has she got the pace? Has she got the strength? Has she got the composure against the post again from Terry? Here's Jureko. She cannot beat Adji. Oh, what will it take for Kenya to score? Terry lies on the floor, unable to believe that again she has failed to profit. Cuts across the defender. Seemingly did everything right. And she's now hit both posts of the Senegalese goal. And there was room to aim at. And actually, you've got to give her credit for having been beaten one side to then be able to get back up instantly to save the effort from Jureko.
Substitution for Senegal team. Player number 4 is represented by number 14, Senegal.
So, Corker foul is on. Skipper in the first game, a substitute today. Sadigatu Jallo, a midfielder, is on. Here come Kenya. Trying again. Well, the amount of chances they've had in the last few minutes, it's at complete odds with what they managed to produce in the first 45. And Bengate also going off. Now just slots straight into the centre forward position alongside Ngena and Jai. must be wondering more they need to do. Corker foul. Ngena. Corker back in the middle. Here's Ngena again. She's got Diop alongside her. Here's foul. Corker foul, trying to wriggle through. And just crowded out in the end. Mama Diop, Corker foul. Ngena and Jai. It is not a lead that he is sitting on. But Moussa Cissé, he has decided that attack may well be the best form of defences. Quênia try and find a goal and possibly their first ever point at a WAFCON. Terry with a strike again, this time straight at Adji. She must be wondering what else needs to be done. It's up to us to correct our mistakes, she said after day one against Morocco. And they've given a really good account of themselves in this second half. Ngena goes down. Fazila the culprit. Senegal with the free kick and ball at the right end of the pitch as far as they're concerned. Okay, will take it. Second would surely kill off Kenyan hopes of salvaging something. Five players to aim at for Nogai. Babu lurking in the D. And Nogai just goes straight for goal. There's two good hands to it. And tries to set her side on their way. Marion. Diakate goes in. Djereko for Quênia. Nasty touch forward. Fazila, really good turn from her. Will be, I was going to say Senegalese throw, but for the fact that Djereko kept it in. Not too close for Adji, even though the likes of Valerie and Terry were interested. Marion, well marshaled by Dembele. Ngena. Got Corker foul to aim at in the middle if she wants to, but she's still going herself. Ngena, she can seal it here, but she can't. Straight at the Quênia goalkeeper. With the goal gaping. She wriggled through. And Ngena, she's had chance after chance. That's a handball gone against the Kenyan player for the miscontrol. Ngena, possibly like the Kenyan team, we're wondering what she needs to do to get on the score sheet today. Time is running out. Job. So. The offside flag had gone up even before that rolled out for a conceivable free kick for Quênia. job. Nogai. Advantage played. Dembele. Touch from the substitute. Marion. Valerie. And if you want to give credit to Odemba, who's just shaking her arms in frustration at her side, the changes that she has made have really helped her side come into the game. It's just the finishing that has let them down. Corker foul. Senegal changed that tune. Here is Corker foul. And it's going to be a corner to Senegal. Had she managed to get that across, as a player in white waiting to pass, it's not going to be a corner because the offside flag was up. Terry laid it off well again. Sadigatu. Dembele. Diakate. Nicely played, but that's surely offside as she's going to touch this and get up. We will see. Play on for the moment. To the middle it goes. Lorna with the clearance for Quênia, and belatedly the offside flag does indeed go up. Again, so at least a couple of yards behind the Quênia back line when she went. Marion. Valerie. She's going to win it back. Lorna. Abu into Diop. Into the last 5 minutes we go. Irene Madalena, the 25-year-old midfielder with the Vihiga Queens, is going to be the latest change for Quênia. Lorna making way. She just goes instantly, you can see on the right-hand side of your screen, to the pitch to save time. So, to Diop. Go with the miscontrol. Matter down, and free kick goes Senegal's way. To Kenyan frustration. Marion. Madalena with the touch forward. Fazila. Valerie. Madalena again into Terry. Can Terry finally get in behind? She can't. She's forced the corner. She was forced wider than she'd like to have been. Just to get the shot away at least and force the corner. And of course, he invites the players to come forward from the back. Good defending to ensure that the goalkeeper was covered. And there are players at the back here. Valerie. Need to get this into the middle, do Quênia. And when it does come, it sails harmlessly behind from Shilwatsu, who did, of course, hit the crossbar midway through his second period. Quênia having hit every single bit of the Senegalese goal. It was Guinar's free stroll through the Kenyan defence. No challenge came in. Look at that air kick coming in from Ndiema. Guinar's effort straight at our wall. Quênia has said they've hit the crossbar, the left-hand post, and the right-hand post. They've gone in between. Aji and Jai. Movable object, as we see Jop just being clattered into by Madalena. So what this result will do will, prior to Nigeria meeting hosts Morocco in just over an hour or so, will leave 3 teams at the top of Group A on 3 points. Quênia will have none from their 2 games. Senegal 3 from 2 games, should they hold on, of course. Victory for Nigeria against Morocco tonight would certainly take them through. Senegal might like to think that they'll be able to catch the Moroccans Monday when they meet. We shall see, of course. All to play for. Right, felled on the edge of the knee. Free kick Senegal's way. There's going to be another lengthy period at the end of this half. Another 7 minutes. Well, this is a very promising position. Does he look? I'll tell you, she got the ball, but the referee actually put her whistle to her lips to signal the Senegalese strike. Seemingly be forthcoming from either Nogai, who's standing over it. So to Sadi Gatou. Has just come on, Sadi Gatou Jallo, who steps up to try and make it 2 for Senegal. And just digs that over the Kenyan crossbar. Well, it probably needed more power than that if it was going to beat Liliane Aouar. Ghana. Corker foul in the middle, so to Mama Diop. That is a corner that goes Senegal's way. Yeah, Heritage, Diema, so happy with the decision. Corker foul with the outswinger. Valerie trying to clear Kenya's lines. Mama Diop with the strike, and again. Quênia in a hurry. Marion. Jureko. Terry. Corker. Diakate. Get up. Diakate to Nogai. Spreads it out and opens it up. Babu steps forward from left back. Looking deep in it goes. Corker foul almost on the edge of it. Here's Ngena. Be careful with the challenges. Tidy with the clearances as well. Quênia just do enough. They've got the goal kick And they don't have much time. Less than 4 minutes to play. Good job. Picks that up. Sadigatu. Corker. Finding Gunner again. They've linked up well, these two, since Corker foul has come on. It's an intended touch from Gunner. Jureko. Kenyan supporters in the stands, urging their Heron-based starlets forward. Terry. Jureko. Valerie. Into Terry again. Valerie. Is this it for Kenya? It isn't. That's an outstanding block at the back. The guy just tries to hold it up and manages to do so. Job. Corker trying to play it back into Mama Job. Fazilani, all right. Centre-back there, who was a left winger in the first half. I'm not sure she plays at centre-back, of course, but she tends to occupy a number of positions for the team. Well, that was high, and that's surely a foul on Fazila Amondi. Valerie's effort really well blocked, putting bodies on the line in search of crucial WAFCON points that could, who knows, end up into this tournament with qualification for the World Cup. Long way to go. Many twists and turns still to come. Fazila, Jureko, well, she thought she had showed some good strength. The referee happy with it, but she seemed to use her body well there. The Kenya captain. Instead, the time Senegal will take this, we will be the 7th and final minute of additional time. Corker foul with the flick. Finding Ngeno again. Sadigatu. To the byline she goes as she wins the corner. That's good play. Keeps the ball at this end of the field for the West Africans, to East African dismay. They know they don't have to do too much more to get this crucial win over the line after the opening day loss to Algeria. Nogai, and away by Terry, and this surely will be Kenya's last opportunity. And it's knocked forward. The referee has blown her whistle, but not for full time. For a Kenyan free kick. They have to launch this forward quickly. Well, they won't have time because the final whistle is blown, and Senegal have bounced back from their opening day defeat against Algeria to beat Kenya.